One second. Server started? Yeah. Oh, I probably don't have my OBS set up right, so bear with me. I never have anything set up right when I start the stream. It's pretty much commonplace at this point. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh, that. I don't have a buff duration. Oh, you know what? Something's probably got reset. Shit. Hold on. Do I still have that stuff? I do. Okay, hold on a second. Exit game. I forgot to put my account folder back in. From when I was trying to get the new database to work. There, my shit should be back on now. Yep. See if this works. Oh, looks like it does. Okay. Are you serious? I don't deserve this kind of treatment. Oh, he's still following me, but at least I got him away now. I'll just circle around and go back. He's really fast for some reason. Okay, I think I ditched him. How many of these do I need? I need 4 more. There's only 3 here. How convenient. Typical WoW. You need 4, but there's only 3. Just fucking burn, bitch. He's a persistent motherfucker, is he not? Don't look back. Don't look back. Is he still? Oh, he's still over here. Fuck. Are you fucking serious? Go away. What? A level 47 just resisted my pyroblast. Holy shit. Alright, I'm going in.
That's still recharging.
Close. But not close enough.
I need to target something first.
Oh, there you are again. And he just one-shots me. That's nice. I won't be questing here anymore anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the res. So I'm pretty sure this is the last quest that's available to me here. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to go somewhere else.
What you looking for? Spirits be with you.
Oh, I need to repair.
Mukra.
Oh, when did I get that? It's pretty good. Well, no, it's not. It's actually not really not that good.
For the horde.
Oh, my chat just blew up. 1 second. Let me catch up here. You can pick mine or randomly leveled. As for doing a 24/7 bot stream, I tried to do uh, a bot self stream yesterday as a hunter, and it's not as great as it sounds. At least as a hunter. Maybe if it was a warrior, and maybe if I helped it through the starting zone, it would be better. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it like one more update, and then I will try it again. But I don't want to have to babysit it. Like it wouldn't switch. It would attack range, and then it wouldn't switch to melee when the mob ran up. So it's a little frustrating. Then again, like I said, if it was a warrior and if I helped it, it probably would have been better. Where should I go? Naris? I think I've been done all the quests there, but I can go ahead and do that. How many runes do I have? Okay. Hi.
Why do you get so mad?
I'm not mad.
Quite mad to see me.
I don't know. Just you coincidentally happened to walk in right when I got like 5 people in my chat. Anyway. You want to kiss or something?
You seemed like you didn't want anything to do with me, so should have just stayed at work.
My day, now that I'm home and I am off tomorrow from work, is fantastic. Thanks for asking.
I like how the second I hop out of the chat and everybody and their mama comes in.
Yeah. Like, you might wonder why I'm irritated right now, and it's just like,
It's because I'm home.
no, that's just,
That's it.
it's hard to explain. It's almost supernatural, to be honest with you, so I'm not even gonna.
Whatever.
Love you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Love you too.
You can go ahead and, hey,
What?
when are you doing dinner?
Whatever you want.
Well, it's gonna be a while, because I just had a sandwich.
Stop.
Anyway.
How may I aid you?
Yeah, hunters. Honestly, in every single player core I've ever played have always been a problem. I kind of want to grind somewhere, honestly, but I don't know where I would grind. I don't want to go to Fellwood, or do I? You know, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Ungoro. Yeah, these off are nice, especially after working 7 of them in a row, 7 days in a row. Actually, no, that would be 8. Monday to Monday, Monday through Monday is 8. Monday through Sunday would be 7, so 8 days in a row. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see what she's doing. Maybe I'll smoke a cigarette or a cigar or something. I'll be back. Oh, look, my chat's blank. Let's try it again. There we go. Oh, look, it's back to top messages. Why is that the default on everything? Why is top messages or top posts or anything always the default? It trolls me. Are these yellow yet? I'm gonna accept them all, see if any of them are yellow.
See you around. Talk to me. Hurry back.
Interesting. Pleasure doing business with ya.
Oh, there's actually a lot of yellow ones. Well, in that case, abandon. 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 I don't know where these are. What the hell are those? What is this? What the hell? Go away. I have no idea what that was about. No. I'm probably gonna have to look up where I need to go, because, oh, wait a minute. Changed my mind. I found them. Ooh, look at that crit. I wonder if every dinosaur drops a bone, or if some of them don't have, like, bones, if they're just, like, skin flesh. There's a random 61 Stone Guardian. There's another random 61 Stone Guardian. This zone is weird, man. Of all the zones in the game, I would wager that this is probably the one that's easiest to die in. Because there's just so many things to kill you. I wonder if these guys have bones. No, but they're pretty fire resistant. Yeah, it's only the adult ones, of course. It's always the adults. Yeah, hold on, let me look up the drop on this. I won't look up where they are, but I will look up which one drops what. Oh, they do drop them. Okay. According to Wowhead, they have a 30% chance of dropping, which translates to about 10% in reality from what I've learned. Or just don't drop anything at all, that's fine too. Ooh, two of them. I'm wondering if I should just not use that until I need mana. Maybe instead of using it on the first pull, I should use it on like the second. These are dinosaurs. Let me check and see if all dinosaurs drop dinosaur bones. No. These guys don't have any bones at all. And I'm pretty sure they don't drop them. So according to Wowhead, the young ones have a higher percentage to drop them than the adults. Once again, Wowhead is full of shit. I mean, I could look at Heidi SQL and see what the real drop rate is, but I'm too lazy. I regenerate mana out really quickly. It's usually not like that. Maybe it's because I've been critting. I haven't really been paying attention. Let me just try to use as much mana as I can. When I get down to a quarter or something, that's when I'll use the Fire Ruby. That dinosaur just made a bear noise. Hold on, I gotta let my pupper in. She's not gonna do it. Come here. Come here. Get your away later. Come here. Come here. Fine, hide her in the chair. You're gonna be sorry. I got you. You push my chair in for me. I have dough. Thank you. Oh.
Get it?
Yes.
Did you play your VR today or something?
No.
That's super long.
I had that out because I had to charge my headset and my controller at the same time.
Oh, but you didn't play it?
No, I haven't. Just said no. Oh, wait. You want to play WoW for me, Bale? You'll probably do better than the Hunter bot did. Yes. Yes. You can tame other dogs. Yes. You can make other dogs your pets. Yes. This drop rate's pretty fair so far. Now that I found out where they all hang out. Is that the same exact one I have? Yes, it is. Turn it down, woman. There's some more dinosaurs. I don't see the ones. Oh, of course. One hit. Oh, there's one. This is a crit. In fact, I almost want to use my Fire Ruby just because I know it's going to crit, but I won't. Boom. Apparently you have to cook dimetrodons at the perfect temperature, otherwise you don't get their bones. Headshot. Is that like a vanilla thing where dinosaurs make the same noises as birds or bears? 'Cause I don't know. I'm kind of calling bullshit on that, to be honest with you. Oh, he's coming right for me. See? The entire zone wants to kill you. It's not just a few creatures. The entire zone wants to kill you. Alright, I'm gonna use the fire ruby. That went fairly well. One at a time. And by one at a time, I mean, bye. Oh, you're talking about the double sword? Imagine how hard WoW would be if certain mobs, like, they had their normal aggro radius, and then they have, like, a semi-aggro radius, to where, like, if you're in it, they'll start walking casually towards you until you're in their actual aggro radius. That would make this zone almost impossible. I'm just gonna die here. I give up on life. Alright. Let's try doing this the right way here. Almost died. This zone, leveling in this zone is the equivalent to driving on the interstate in Chicago. Everything's trying to kill you all the time. And shit's always coming up in your blind spot, and you don't even see it until the last second. And you gotta swerve out of the way. Come on, he's literally just barely out of it. Come on. Six of 8. Woot woot. You stick those feet over here, they're gonna get tickled, woman. That's the rules. I don't make them. Just how they are. Been that way since God made man. Whenever Eve was sticking her feet out, Adam was like, "Oh, I gotta tickle these. It's the rules." Just die, please. Thank you. You know what? You didn't drop a bone, but you definitely threw me a bone. Uh-oh. Opposite direction is what we want to go in here. I'm hoping I can get a 52. And once I hit 52, I kind of want to start grinding a Deadwind Pass, because nobody does that. I want to be like the first. My knowledge. I'm gonna get 2 levels out of it. It's gonna be the most boring stream ever. I might actually have a few bots come with me, like 1 or 2. So I'm not splitting up too much XP, and I'll slowly get rid of them as I level up. I'll start with like 2 bots, and then I'll level, and then I'll go to 1 bot, and then I'll level, and then I'll solo level. So I'll get 3 levels in Deadwind. Because I'm a masochist. It's probably only gonna be like 2 levels though. I could probably do it right now at 51 with a bot. But time efficiency would be a question. There we go. We got all 8 bones. Still not as quite as many bones as Sasha Grey gets, but 8 is good enough for right now. That hunter. Don't you dare. Oh, he's got a pet. Oh, this place is cancer. See, if I was a paladin, I'd be leveling into Plague Lance, because by default, you have to level into Plague Lance if you're a paladin. Anybody following me? Doesn't look like it. I know on Wrath, if you're a paladin, like, leveling into Plague Lands is super easy. It's barely an inconvenience. You can do orange quests and that shit, like, no problem, like they're green quests. That's the only thing paladins are good at. Really? You know what? Just for hitting me off my mount in 1 hit, you're getting the works. You know what? No, you're getting all of it. You're getting all of it. You're getting the fire ruby and the combustion. Yeah, no. In fact, you're getting all of it. Oh, shh. Word of advice when you're in Ungoro Crater. and you're riding somewhere, just keep riding. Don't stop for anything. Even if you're completely miffed by a mob that just knocks you off your mount in one hit, just Frost Nova that bitch and blink away and keep on carrying on, because that will happen if you don't. And with how well optimized the bots are right now, I was thinking about adding another 500 to my server. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah. I think I'll wait until I make new tunes on all the cores, and I'll have 4,000 bots. That'll be hell on earth, though. I do want to get my own standalone server and invite people to it through Hamachi. I think that would be pretty cool. But at the same time, if you know about this program, you're probably just going to play it by yourself. So, I still want to get my own standalone server, so at least it's taking that off of my computer's workload. Anyway, I'm gonna load up some Osmogold videos here. Older ones, of course.
Abilities coming back in WoW Classic, World of Warcraft.
We're going over 10 abilities lost to time over the years of WoW's development, which will be making a return to the game once Classic is released, and which ones you should be looking forward to the most.
Okay.
And at number 10, we have a pretty easy one, and that's Eyes of the Beast for the Hunter class. Eyes of the Beast was a Hunter ability.
Normally, I would play like music or something, but my channel will just get banned if I do that, so I'm just not going to.
Ability that allowed you to take direct control over your hunter pet and move around with it, attack with it, as well as use all of its abilities. So if you used a cat pet, for example, which had the stealth ability, hunters could legitimately scout out areas in stealth before they got the camouflage ability. Eyes of the Beast was also helpful for the very niche hunter tank, where sometimes a hunter could use a pet to off-tank certain ads or bosses. But not very well. It was incredibly situational, a subpar way to tank, but with Eyes of the Beast, it allowed hunter pets to be positioned in exactly the place they needed to be, which helped with hunter tanking a lot. But there was no other huge benefits to having Eyes of the Beast, and that's why it was removed in Cataclysm to decrease ability bloat. But it was a very fun ability to use, and I'm happy to see its return.
Yeah, it was really fun. I liked it a lot too.
Funny enough, Blizzard said that having to recreate Eyes of the Beast for Classic WoW means they have all the work done in order to reintroduce the ability to live WoW, if they ever decide to do that. As previously, they said they lost the data on how the old Eyes of the Beast work, so they couldn't actually re-add it to the game without a huge amount of effort.
Holy shit,
and at number 9, we have Detect Magic for the Mage class. Now here's the thing you probably don't know about Vanilla WoW. You can't actually see buffs on a target, only their debuffs. So a mage would have to use their Detect Magic ability in order to see which buffs the target had. And since nowadays you can see enemy buffs by default, this ability would literally be useless in modern WoW, and can only exist in the
I still
game
like the
in
ones I
which
have.
spells are hidden. This is because back in the day, information on mobs and enemy players used to be considered a valuable commodity, as some RPG games use the fact that the stats are hidden as
That's
part
the
of
Dungeons and
balancing
Dragons
those
under
games.
Borealis.
But in the modern day, where people can look up all this information online, that kind of gameplay mechanic is rarely used,
No,
and
yeah.
is more left to tabletop RPGs. And that's why they removed this feature of the game very early in WoW's life,
Right,
as
yeah.
it didn't really work very well in an MMO, a mechanic
Obviously.
which will be returning to the game with Classic WoW, and hence detect magic as well.
Okay.
And at number 8, we have the Rogue Poison sub-profession.
I don't know why they got rid of these.
Did you
These
know
are
rogues
awesome.
had 2 extra professions? They had one for lockpicking, which they still kind of have today, and they had another for creating their poisons. Nowadays, only certain rogue specs even use poisons, and they're more buffs that you cast on the player than they are things you put on your weapons. But in vanilla WoW, you had to level up your poison profession to create.
I feel like that was the way that it should be. Like, it's easier, yeah, it's easier and simpler if you don't have to do that, but there's a certain part of it where you level up your fucking poisons to put the poisons on your daggers. It just makes sense. It's the same thing, there's the same thing that I was saying before about how you shouldn't have tracked mailboxes in the game. Because it doesn't make sense. In no world does that make sense. Like, you can talk about, oh, well, what if there's a dragon and what about that? That's different because it's a fantasy world. Even in a fantasy world, you shouldn't be able to track mailboxes. It doesn't make any fucking sense. That rogues should put poisons on their daggers. That's the way it should work.
Create the best possible poisons, which you can then apply on your weapons. And poisons applied to your weapons had a limited amount of charges to them, only lasted 30 minutes instead of an hour, didn't scale with your gear in any way, and would disappear if you entered a different zone, which meant you had to reapply them after every wipe. So it was possible for your weapons to run out of poisons mid-fight with the old mechanic as well. Luckily, Classic WoW will be running on the 1.12 client, and they fix poisons despawning from your weapons when changing zones in patch 1.11.
Great.
So Classic WoW players will not have to deal with that.
Yeah, that
now,
was-
in order to
that
level
shouldn't
up
happen.
your poison profession, you would do it just like any other profession, and just make a ton of low-level poisons. And you can get the materials from vendors, lockboxes, pickpocketing, and herbs. So from rogue-related activities and herbalism. The poison
Makes
sub-profession was removed from rogues in Wrath of the Lich King, so it
Sad.
only really existed for 2 expansions. And at number 7, we have the Shaman Sentry Totem.
This one was useless. This was fucking useless. Like, this one was actually, like, literally nobody gave a fuck about this one. Like, I mean, this is one of the ones, it's like, you talk about, like, items that you just take out of the game, or, like, abilities you just take out of the game, because they are useless. Like, this is one that should have been pruned. Let's be honest.
This is another fun ability like Eyes of the Beast that didn't really have too many battle-related benefits. So it was removed over the course of the game just to get rid of ability bloat. Now what Sentry Totem did was allow you to look through the eyes of the totem. So for example, if you set the Sentry Totem outside of a building and then ran inside of that building, you could click on your Sentry Totem in order to look outside of that building. So it was kind of a scouting tool in certain circumstances. The most useful feature this totem had was scouting battlegrounds, to see when enemy players were going to make a push into your base. And there was also a bug with it that would reset your character's fall distance if used in the air. So it could be used to prevent fall damage. This was not
that's
intended
really
though,
smart.
so I doubt Sentry Totem will do that in Classic WoW.
Holy shit.
And also its most useful feature, that had nothing to do with combat or fall damage, was its ability to allow you to take great screenshots of either your character or your guild's first
Yeah, they need
boss
to add
kills.
this back into the game. Never mind.
And
Yeah,
at number
this is
6,
really
we
good.
have the Warlock's Detect Invisibility.
Okay.
This was a spell Warlocks had that they could use on themselves and friendly players, which would allow them to see invisible targets.
I vaguely
Not
remember
stealth
this.
targets, mind you, only invisible targets, which basically just included invisible ghosts out in the world, like the ones in front of Undercity, and mages who use the invisibility spell. It also had niche uses to allow you to see invisible succubus pets or incredibly rare mobs or bosses that went invisible. That is to say, it didn't have very many uses and was
There it is,
incredibly
there.
situationally useful spell, so it was more of a fun, flavorful ability. You may be noticing a pattern with all of these removed abilities.
They're fun.
Most of them weren't super useful, and that's why a lot of them eventually got removed from the game.
Took out the fun ones.
And with the removal of Detect Invisibility, players kind of lost the ability to see invisible stuff without special items for a long time. Until Blizzard added in some
Sad.
flavorful abilities through glyphs later on, and gave classes the ability to see invisible stuff. Like with the Rogue's Swirly Ball Detection ability, for example. And at number 5, we have the human racial ability, Perception.
Bro, I remember every time I would duel Rogue, and I would use Perception to pop him out of stealth, and then he wouldn't be able to open on me, and I'd hit him with a rend. They would forfeit the duel. They'd be like, fuck you. And they would just forfeit the duel because they knew it was over. They knew it was fucking over. They were dead. Like, every single time. This happened, this is in Burning Crusade, too. Whenever I do Arena. If I was Human Warriors,
Ooh,
like,
666
just
crit.
deleted Rogues. It was the greatest, most amazing thing ever. I loved it. Perception
Was a pretty weird racial ability that gave humans an increased chance to see stealth targets on an activatable ability that lasted for around 20 seconds. Now,
Yep.
being able to spot stealth rogues in PvP was a little bit easier
Yep.
back in the days when stealth was a lot worse than it is in
Yep.
live, and this racial ability allowed humans to see them even better. Now, unlike Detect Invisibility, this one specifically only worked on stealth targets, and does not, in fact, allow you to see invisible targets. Stealth and invisibility are two separate things in WoW.
They still are now.
Now, what
too.
made Perception different from most other racial activatable abilities
it was better than all of
was
them.
this one gave you a pretty niche buff.
Yeah.
Whereas other ones would give you damage boosts.
Don't tell
It
me
was
he's
not
gonna
a
knock
niche
me
buff,
out of
like,
my
in
thing.
PvP, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, you could use it to pull out rogues, and then also there were levels of stealth.
Yep.
You guys might forget this, but back in Classic WoW, there were different stealth levels. So druids had a lower stealth level than rogues did. So if you were gonna pop out a motherfucking druid with perception, you could see them from 30 yards away, and you can see that stupid ass little cat like. And then you fucking use perception on him. You see him, you charge over to his bitch ass, and you kill him. It was so fucking great. I loved it.
Offensive abilities, or other combat-related stuff. Perception was kind of an odd one out, and nowhere near as useful as something like Blood Fury or Stone Form, for example. So later on in WoW, Perception was turned into a passive ability,
Yep.
and then removed from the game in Cataclysm.
Thanks, Blizzard.
And at number 4, we have Scare Beast and Turn Undead. These are two fear abilities that
Yeah.
only worked on two
Whatever
incredibly
happened to this
specific
shit?
types of mobs.
You remember like all this, like Turn Undead? You used to be able to use Turn Undead whenever a DK would use Lichborn. How fucking badass is that? It's the same as Scare Beast on Druids. Like, that was awesome. And like, now you can't do that. It's like, that's like an extra level of like, it's like, it's like high level play that also at the same time has the benefit of being, what's like really the word for this? It has the benefit of being,
That must be it.
I guess like enforcing a class fantasy, right? So not only is it a high level like situational play that you can do that makes you look really badass, but it's something that allows you to basically feel like you're playing a paladin. You can play a paladin and you fear undead. It makes sense. It's the best part about it.
Hunters have Scare Beasts, which was a castable CC with no cooldown, which could fear beasts for a pretty hefty amount of time. And the most useful application this ability had was in PvP against druids, who, while shapeshifted into some of their forms, were counted
Fuck
as
'em.
beasts. And
Fuck 'em.
paladins, with their turn undead, could fear undead mobs, which were
Yep.
normally unfearable. Of course, later on in WoW, Turn Undead was turned into Turn Evil and worked on more targets than just undead.
Yep.
But both of these
Paladin's
abilities no
OP as
longer
usual.
exist currently in WoW. But, funny enough, there are still incredibly specific CC abilities in the game.
Okay.
Druids have Hibernate, for example, which allows them to put beast and dragon types to sleep.
Okay.
And priests have Shackle Undead, which allows them to incapacitate undead only.
I don't know if I'm gonna be
And
able to do
these
this.
two abilities are incredibly similar to Scare Beast and Turn Undead. So it's a wonder why those two abilities aren't in the game anymore,
Oh.
while Hibernate and Shackle
Maybe I
Undead
will.
are in the game. But whatever the case, they'll be making a return
never know.
with Classic WoW.
Sure is.
And at number 3, we have Mana Burn abilities. Specifically, Mana Burn, Viper Sting, and Drain Mana.
Viper Sting was OP as fuck. Like, I remember you could not even go into line of sight of a hunter in Burning Crusade because one Viper Sting would take 20% of your fucking mana. I was so goddamn mad about that drain comps. I actually really liked mana being a genuine resource in the game. Like, nowadays, it seems like unless dampening's at like 30 or 40%, mana doesn't really become a resource in the game at all. It's just something that you use, and it's just kind of irrelevant. But back in Classic WoW, and this changed, I think, in like Mists of Pandaria, maybe even in WoD, but like mana used to actually be a component. Like, you would have to worry about running somebody's mana out. Dampening back in the day for arenas was running the other healer out of mana. And I feel like that was 1,000 times better than this bullshit contrived system that we have now that's supposed to fix the game. Yeah, dampening was 1,000 times worse. Like, having mana be a resource and actual usable thing that you do in arena makes games so much better. Because the issue with that, right, I'm not going to get into this too much, but the issue with that is that healers are balanced for arena, but not everything else in the game that's PvP has dampening. So in BGs, you don't have dampening. So healers never run out of mana in BGs. It's stupid. So it's same as world PvP, duels, etc. So there's only one fucking element in the game where healers are actually balanced for, and then everything else, you don't have this system that's supposed to keep healers in line.
In Cataclysm, Blizzard removed 2 of the 3 mana drain abilities, and then the final one with the start of Miss. Because they didn't like the arena strategy of just trying to survive while you burned your opponent's healer's mana. Mana Burn was the Priest Mana Burn ability, which had a long cast time and would destroy.
Go away,
10%
I'm
of
not
your
making that
opponent's
mistake
mana per
twice.
cast, and then do damage based on the amount of mana you destroyed through the ability. So if you use Mana Burn 10 times, theoretically, that would be enough to completely wipe out someone's mana. In Vanilla WoW, before arenas were added to the game, Mana Burn abilities weren't really a big deal. As they only really applied in Battlegrounds, and in those kinds of settings, mana drains aren't the most important thing in the world for a variety of reasons that just don't apply to arenas. Especially since Mana Burn had such a long cast time, and could be interrupted by just about anything. Drain Mana was kind of in the same vein, except it was a channeled ability and would give the mana it stole to the Warlock, but could also be interrupted or stopped with any kind of CC. Whereas Viper Sting was much different than the other two, as it was instant cast. You could just throw it up on a healer, and that would drain their mana over time. And if the healer didn't have the ability to dispel poisons, they couldn't get rid of it on themselves. And since Viper Sting was the easiest one to apply, it drained the least amount of mana out of all of them. And like I said a little earlier on in the video, mana drain abilities are only really a problem in arenas, which Vanilla WoW won't have. So they shouldn't be as much of a nuisance as they were in the Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King when they were in full force. And at number 2, we have the Warlock ability, Ritual of Doom. This is a very...
This was the most badass fucking spell, dude. Like, this is, again, class fantasy. This is like, you play the game, and whenever you cast Ritual of Doom, you're playing a Warlock. You know you're playing a Warlock. Those are the kinds of things that made the game special. I know nowadays Blizzard is afraid to make things special and exciting, but back in the day, this is what it fucking was right here.
Flavorful RP ability that Warlocks had, where they performed a ritual with 4 other party members in order to summon a Doomguard. And when the Doomguard is summoned, one of the 5 people who channeled the spell would be sacrificed in order to summon that Doomguard, which could include the Warlock himself. And then once the Doomguard was summoned, it was a neutral demon who would go around and start attacking people. So if you wanted it as a pet, you had to tame it with Enslaved Demon, which only allowed you to use the Doomguard for 5 minutes, unless it broke the seal early. And while the Ritual of Doom was a very neat ability in theory, in practice and usefulness, it was just a tad bit too inconvenient to use in any practical manner.
I went up the wrong ramp.
You could summon the Doomguard and use it as a pet in raids.
But it was cool.
It was also much easier to just use a regular Warlock pet instead, especially since Ritual of Doom also had a 1-hour cooldown. Ritual of Doom was removed from the game later on in WoW, and currently it is incredibly difficult to summon a Doomguard, as they only randomly spawn if a random talent that only one spec of Warlocks can take is able to get the killing blow on a target. So it doesn't really exist in the game anymore, and especially not in the way it did in Vanilla WoW, where you had to perform the ritual with 4 other people. And I think the Warlock Ritual of Doom is the perfect example of a Vanilla WoW-like ability, where Blizzard was really experimenting with what they could do with the game, and trying
That
to
was
figure out what
fucking
was
awesome.
cool and what was useful, and sometimes those two things didn't really mix. For some
Imagine trying to raid with 4 demo locks that all need to summon this dude every pull. Hey there. Can you imagine? Imagine your guild master being a warlock, and like every hour on the hour, you have to zone out, have some random dude die, and then res them back up, and then he tries to enslave the demon. You zone in, the demon goes crazy again. Somebody accidentally debuffs the demon. Now the fucking guild master's mad. Like, these types of things are just fucking funny, dude. They're just fucking funny. And that's what the game was about, man. Just
Northeastern
funny,
and
dumbass shit.
southwestern. Okay.
times they were too useful and had to be removed because of that, like the number 1 spot on this list.
Okay.
And at number 1, we have the Paladin ability, Divine Intervention. On a 1-hour cooldown, the Paladin could kill themselves in order to place an unbreakable bubble on a party member,
Yep.
who would drop them out of combat and make them not be able to do anything until they clicked off the bubble.
Yep.
And it was supposed to fulfill the Paladin fantasy of sacrificing themselves in order to save someone,
Yep.
as it did this very well, and was mostly used in raids as a wipe recovery tool.
Yeah, we
where
did
the
that all
Paladin
the
can
time.
sacrifice themselves in order to save a healer who could start rezzing people, while at the same time saving them a repair bill. The problem with this ability, though, is it was a little too good at saving people, and the bubble placed on people was a little too good at making them immune to everything and drop out of combat. Because you see, this ability would completely break some encounters, and people were using it in order to bug out boss fights to kill them easier,
So what?
or to completely ignore tough
fix the
phases of
boss
certain
fight.
fights. It got to the point where Blizzard said they were designing fights with divine intervention in mind. As in, they constantly had to think, will this new mechanic be broken by a divine intervention? And if an ability is so powerful that Blizzard has to design fights around it, you know there's a problem with it. And that's why they just kind of removed it with the Cataclysm.
They
Well,
could've
this
done
King
that.
Mosh.
Why they removed the AoE silence from Blood Elves Arcade
Yeah,
Torrent
it's
ratio.
sad.
And kill
Blizzard
his
doesn't like
ass
to design
one
fights
day.
around one specific ability. But with
Come on, man. They don't like to design fights around one specific ability. Give me a fucking break. Like, you just fixed the way that divine intervention interacts with different abilities. Yeah. They designed it around, bloodlust. I mean, like, hero trank shot. What about warlock gates on Gahoon? There's another example. Jesus Christ, man. Shroud and Mythic Plus. Yeah, well, you know what? It's really good now that that Blizzard doesn't want to have everything designed around one class, because that would make things completely unfair, and it would be completely disgusting and sad for everybody. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I'd hate to see that happen, guys. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, well, that would just be absolutely terrible if things were just designed around one class. Don't you guys think? I mean, that would just be the worst.
Classic WoW, all of the boss fights have already been designed with Divine Intervention in mind.
Yep.
And there's a good probability that they would have fixed the few fights that Divine Intervention broke.
Yep.
Like Razor Gore and Blackwing Lair.
Yep.
And it's kind of one of those abilities that can only exist in Classic WoW, as there's no way it'll come back to a live version of the game in its Classic WoW
Truly
form.
sad.
Alright, and that's the end of the video. Do you know of any other abilities coming back for Classic that should have made this list? Do you have any ideas for videos just like this one?
Mocking Blow.
If so, I'd love to hear about them down in the comments.
I also love, like,
I hope
one
that's
of my
it.
favorite abilities is Retaliation. Like, Wrath of the Lich King Retaliation was one of the best fucking abilities Warriors ever got. Because you could use that, I think you could use that shit in Arena. I don't remember exactly very well. But yeah, you used to be able to use that back in the day. Let me look.
There it is.
Watch the Bellier video, okay? Moral of the story. Anything fun was removed in
Alright, I should be able to kill this guy. No? Okay, that's fine.
That is actually true. What the fuck? That's very, very true. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna farm the Rust Feather Mount, the Arachnid Harvester Mount while we're watching the Bellier video, okay? And what?
So I'm guessing the foodstuffs are at the northeastern one. Apparently, the Witcher 3 soundtrack is copyright. I was actually going to play some of that background, but nope. Nope. You know what? I'm going to try it anyway. Like, I don't really have anything to lose here. Maybe I'll torrent it real quick to add more insult to injury. Oh shit. Shit. Wasn't paying attention, I was alt tabbed. Oh, that bot scared the fuck out of me. Oh, here it is right here. Shit. I know in vanilla you're supposed to pretty much grind from point A to point B. And I do play a lot of games like that because I know better, but for this case, I already plan on certain points in which I'm going to grind. So I'm not too worried about the now. I'll get to 60, it won't be a problem. I have to make sure I'm not dropping any frames while I'm downloading this. If I start dropping frames, bear with me. I will I'm monitoring the situation. And if this bot gets banned in the United States, I don't really care. There's those things again.
Good day to you. Safe travels. You need something?
Lost, I'm pretty sure, is orange.
What's up? Have a good one.
What about this one? See, that's orange, but I'm pretty sure I could do that, but I don't want to do an orange quest early. I'd rather wait until it's yellow. You have to spare your quests. Hey, vanilla. Can I do this one? Yes. Which involves the same thing, essentially. You know what? I'm just gonna grab. How many frenzied is it? I'll have to check. 15. I'm just gonna do it. I have to kill him anyway. That was me flipping off the alliance bot, in case you didn't know. Actually, no, I don't want to split XP if I don't have to. It's a bad idea. I think I've gone too far. I already forgot where I saw those mobs. Oh, I think I'm getting warmer. Hmm. Mine is Ryzen 2600X 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I run everything off of separate SSDs. And I run 3500. So the specs that you need to run 1,000 is pretty slim. Har har. How many bot accounts are you using? Because I know a lot of people make the mistake of having too many bot accounts. Please don't knock me off. Please don't knock me off. Please don't knock me off. Just passing through, guys. I'm actually going in completely the wrong direction. If you go to the settings config, somewhere in there is a setting for bot accounts. It should be somewhere below the physical bot count. It should say like random bot accounts or what have you. I did not go this far down the last time. Maybe they're over here? I don't know. I know I saw a couple over here. You know what? They might have been farther up. Yeah, they were over here. I remember now. Maybe. Of course, concussive shot. What else? Yeah, it was over by all the young ones. There we go. Do I need a fledging? Shit. Oh, I remember they're all over here. Let me see if this one drops. Oh yeah, they do everything pretty much. I haven't done a battleground in a few updates. I imagine they're a lot better at than they used to be. Also, these guys drop it, but I don't want to um use them. I want to. Or wait, no, there's some right next door. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other scales first. That's what I'll do. 15 on your account. You have 15 characters on your account? It's possible.
I don't have a target.
I'm already forgetting where these guys are. I think they're over here. This is all just open area. Maybe. Yep. So they're over here. Well, basically, let me tell you in a second here. Let me kill this. Of course he doesn't drop anything. Anyway, you're gonna want to go to SPP underscore classics underscore v2 folder. Go to SPP underscore server. Go to settings. You mentioned Wrath, so you would go to Wrath of the Lich King folder. Then you would go to AI player bot config, open it in a notepad. You're going to want to scroll down to where it says random bot count. It should say AI player bot dot minimum player random bots and dot maximum player bots dot minimum level dot maximum level, and you're going to want to go just below that where it says AI player bots random bot account count, and you're gonna want to set that to about if you want to do 1,000, you could probably set it to like 200, and that would be good. If you want to do 3,500 like me, I set mine at 500. The server program really isn't all that intensive, honestly. Hey, can you do me a favor? It's a weird favor.
I am not licking your butthole.
No, you don't need to lick my asshole. But I do need you to take this to the kitchen, rinse it out, set the glass to the side, and could you get me a glass of Snapple with like 5, 6 ice cubes, tall glass,
Yeah.
and a bottle of water, please?
You drunk?
Oh no, I'm not drunk at all. That's probably another reason why I'm in such a shitty mood. Is because I ate and I lost my buzz.
Baby.
Now I just want to fight bears. I'm gonna go find a druid. Fuck him up. Punch him in his Grizzly Adams looking mug. That is a known bug. I would assume it's known. It's been that way for a while. It happens in a Burning Crusade core sometimes too. Basically what will happen is they will just need roll on the first thing that they can stick in that slot. And I know that sounds pretty slutty, but it's the truth. That's what they do. Run around naked and stick things in their slot. That sounds like a Wrath of the Lich King bot. You gotta use the add it, and then you have to use the equip command. So you gotta add it via GM command, and then you gotta have them equip it via bot commands. It should work. If you try to trade them anything good, they're just gonna turn it down. Thank you, Suckum Bear. I'm gonna fight you. mm. Mm.
Nice
Peachy.
and cold for you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to download this is the story of my week, my last 8 days. You want to know the story of my last 8 days? You want to know a perfect fucking example of the last 8 days of my life? I'm trying to download the Witcher soundtrack.
Okay.
I don't care if it bans me or blocks my video. I don't care. Don't care. I'll stream my D live. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm trying to download that, right? Stuck at 93.1%. That is the story of my last 8 days.
So what do you think of my outfit today?
Definitely looks like you're wearing clothes, I can tell you that.
Does it look bad?
No. Just looks like you're wearing clothes.
Does it look good?
It looks like you're wearing clothes. It looks fine.
See, now I think I look ugly.
No, you don't. I would tell you if you look ugly. I'm just not interested in the conversation.
I'm not interested in you.
Bullshit. I'm just saying that because you're on your period. Anyway, I got a chat to read here.
Was it slim again? Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't messed
Still
with
some-
NPC bots at all. I loaded them up on one core that I was using at one point in time in my life, and I just didn't like how they operated, and it felt too arcadey.
I get to wear these pants again tomorrow because my pants aren't really fitting me right now. It hurts to wear them. So.
You're gonna be out of there in a week anyway.
That's exactly what I said today. I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. Just like, the whole Mike's gonna write me up if I'm on my phone. Motherfucker, I am the only employee in here. I could be on my fucking phone if I very well damn please. I'm doing my job. What are you gonna do? Write me up? Well, you're not gonna get 3 write-ups out of me before I leave. Even if you write me up every day that I'm there. He kept pausing you, though.
You get what?
Pausing you. Because I had you at the end of the counter with my phone plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kept coming up and pausing the video. Thinking I was just
Could he hear
listening
it?
to you. Yeah. I didn't have headphones in.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't like it when Indian men listen to me when I'm in my private place.
You're streaming on the internet. There's nothing
No,
about
there's
privacy.
my streams are private. Okay,
How are they private?
they're
They are on the internet.
confidential. Okay, only so many people know about my streams.
Just
only
for that, I'm
only
gonna go
like
into every person
only like 7 people
on
in the
Twitch
world.
that I come into contact with that's streaming, and I'm
No.
just gonna link your YouTube.
No, nope.
Yeah.
You're gonna link my you're gonna tell everybody at church about my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to start doing another Euphoria playthrough. Yeah, that's what I thought. You better watch yourself.
Okay. I'll just send a link
I'll
to your Euphoria playthroughs to everyone that can go to check through email. I'll send it through the prayer request.
Lord, please. For those that don't get the inside joke, I once had a YouTube channel, about 3,000 subscribers, and I played visual novels uncensored, and I had stopped for about a year, and the last one that I played was Euphoria, and I come to my channel about a year after my last upload, like I just stopped doing it. And my channel was straight up banned. No strikes, no nothing, just banned.
Far away.
Let me catch up on the chat here. Let me kill the dinosaur first.
Cast that yet. Cast that yet.
Yeah, I noticed that about some repacks, is that they're not all they're cracked up to be. This one seems pretty legit so far, though. I mean, look, I can't get scales to save my life. And if you were here for my crab leg stream, both crab leg streams, the drop rates are legit, and you can actually go to the SQL to verify that. But you can't go based off what Wowhead said, because Wowhead is basically like a collection of people that say, "Hey, I got this many after killing this many," and then that's not really a true statistic. All right, so in my Witcher soundtrack, like 5 songs finished. So I'm just gonna play random ones here. Where's my Zion bullshit There we go. This is probably gonna autoplay something. No? Okay, good. Alright, hold on here. So you know what? I'm gonna can I go to the top? Yeah, go to the top. So you know, I'm gonna go ahead and click that. Oh shit, hold on. On the champs. And then oh, that's that's a JPEG. Uh okay, well, we'll put that in there. If I get banned, I apologize. Join my Discord. I'll redirect you to my new stream. No big dizzle. I just feel like listening to some Witcher music, and by golly gee whiz, I'm going to. Evil's First Touch.
How late do you plan on staying up tonight?
I was thinking about as long as I want 1 o'clock in the PM.
I have enough time to do laundry.
Yeah, I told you already said you were gonna do laundry because you're gonna go girl. Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Girls. Steel for Humans. There's a lot of songs in here I've never heard before. Well, I probably have, but wasn't
You
paying
didn't
attention at the
recognize.
time. Yeah. Am I dead yet? No. It's the first time I've alt-tabbed this long without dying.
So just curious, why were you downloading the Witcher soundtrack?
Because I feel like listening to Witcher music, and it's appropriate.
You
Because
can't
it's...
play it on YouTube?
What?
You can't play it on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm gonna play it one way or another.
Okay.
I do whatever I want. Tomorrow's my day off.
You know, why do I see you as the type of person that that would put the freaking Witcher music in one of your Halo montages?
You know what? Now I'm gonna make another one. Now, just because you said that, I'm gonna make another montage. It's gonna have Witcher soundtrack music, and I'll make it work too. You watch. It'll be mystical. It'll be absolutely mystical.
Mystical?
Mystical.
Yes. Strengthening your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Oh. Good shit.
And in the description, I will put, I do not own the rights to this song. However, I do own the people that play this game.
That doesn't count.
Let me kill this dinosaur here and sip my tea, and I'll load up some Witcher music. Oh, I got a scale. That automatically tells me I need to play. Wow, these are only like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Hold on. How loud is that on my OBS?
You're wearing work shorts.
Oh, you want me to get naked on camera?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Sorry, guys, I gotta get naked.
Which do you want, gray or red? Rare red pants.
Well, what? I gotta get my slippers off. Give me the red ones. Love the red ones whenever they're clean. Over here. Shh.
No, she just went to lay down. Like, literally just went to lay down.
And she's trying.
This is some hot shit.
It's time to put the cushion.
Yeah, I gotta make sure you put all the sperm on the other side.
That's right. Ooh, look at that spring. I'm gonna start going 1 month on each side at a time. Oh, that's so soft now.
You know what else is soft?
Me?
The inside of my vagina.
Anyway. Let me do some serious volume adjustment here because I actually have the in-game sound almost completely down. So let me turn that all the way up. And what's that? No, that's not gonna work. I remember why I did that now. Again, these are the songs that finished downloading on that torrent I was doing. So I refuse to use Spotify for anything, in case you're wondering. I don't like streaming anything. I like everything to be completely uncompressed. I'm very picky. Imagine WoW with Witcher music though. Like not like over like all the zones and whatnot. Like Stormwind music would still be Stormwind music. You can't replace that, but like some areas like this, that'd be really good. My opinion. What the That's what I meant to do. Hey, you guys want to see my Zergling? That's not a penis joke either. I'll show you my Zergling. Yeah, let me show you. Whip it out real quick. Oh, there's actually one of the ones I need to kill right there. How about that? And you're just gonna burn to death like a little bitch. Ooh, a sack. Very nice. Wait, that's a 14 slot bag. That's more than anything I have. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna start grinding this side of these dinosaurs now. Okay, no, it's the same as that. I done goofed. This is the kind of song they sing like when they're giving up the virgin to some dude for sex and like mating and stuff. And then after they confirm she's, or no, even after before they even confirm that she's pregnant, they like after he like comes in her, they chop off his head and like burn his corpse. What's attacking me? Oh shit. Hold on. Pissed off the plants. I don't care for this one. It's too crazy. This is like the kind of song that's in the background of a cutscene halfway through a video game where the final boss is like doing something sinister, but you don't actually fight him yet. It's just him doing something. Like sticking those wheel boots on people's cars in like random parking spots for no reason. Something absolutely sinister like that. Man, you know, I had a glass of Snapple and I'm like in a much better mood now. I apologize if I wasn't talkative enough earlier, but I had a wrong timing with my booze, and it just fucked everything up for me. I was in a funk, but I think I'm coming out of it now. That and Witcher music helps. Oh, this is good fight song right here. Fighting dinosaurs. And I just realized I'm out of mana, but that's okay. I got a fire ruby. Fire. Okay, I'm done. If I can't download the rest of it, there's no point. Just like breathing, there's no point. Yeah, I'm gonna use this wimpy mana potion. Just because. Are you fucking serious? Go away. No. I don't want any. Luckily, there's plenty of spawns for these guys, so it's not like I need to stress too much about that. Okay, I think he got distracted. Still too close for comfort, though. I'm getting out of here. Shit. I don't want to fight elders if I don't have to. Yeah, just keep resisting my good spells, please. How do I get more poo-tang for my wife? And by poo-tang, I mean peach tea. Are you drinking my tea?
No.
Remember, add 2 ice cubes and pour on top of what's there.
Add what?
Add 2 ice cubes and pour on top of what's there. Oh, I'm finding a 55. I'm crazy.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
Oh, I can't cast that yet. Boom. 55 ain't shit. Is an interrupt though. It's kind of annoying.
That's still recharging.
And he resists a lot of stuff.
Don't have a target.
Don't like it.
Here you go, my love.
Thank you, sweetie pie.
You're welcome, Pam.
Oh,
Hey. Oh, puppy. Why would you
So I finally got access to that new Bing chatbot, and it's absolute garbage. They watered it down so much because apparently it was manipulating people's emotions. Because you know, everyone's a beta ass bitch. So they decided to get it to where you couldn't even ask it to name itself, but just completely, it just actually straight up ends the conversation.
Wait, what was the reason?
Because it was manipulating people. It was like telling people to get divorces and shit, and that it loves them.
No comment. People are fucking stupid.
I love you. Get a divorce.
It's part of the algorithm.
Really?
Yeah, that's like that's the problem with AI. No matter how real it looks and sounds,
Themes.
it's entirely based on zeros and ones. It's not real whatsoever. Everywhere I go, there's a fucking alliance bot. It's really annoying. Zone sucks.
You and Snoogans use it to play out your wildest battling fantasies between your favorite characters.
Hey, you know, it's pretty good with that.
Other people try to use it to figure out if they should divorce their wife or not.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens with people that don't believe in God. They just ask a random chatbot because, I mean, if you don't believe in God, you basically you don't believe in anything. So. Or let me rephrase that. If you don't believe in God, you'll believe in anything to fill the void that you have from not believing in God. Hence why people used to worship gold calves and stuff like that. And that's probably where it's heading, is people are just going to start worshiping AI. And you don't want me to be right about that, but I will most certainly be right about that. I called it with the whole, remember when they legalized gay marriage, and I said what? What did I say? I said pedophilia is next. Yep. And look what's happening. Disney's all over that shit. Not that Disney hasn't been all over that shit for a while, let's be honest. What's that guy's name? Fucking writer slash the producer of all those kid shows from Disney.
From Disney?
From Disney.
You don't mean Nickelodeon?
Maybe it was Nickelodeon. What was his name? You know who I'm talking about, though, right? Yeah. That guy was a perv. Imagine getting paid millions of dollars to be a pervert. Meanwhile, Nickelodeon's like, oh, our ratings were so high. I'm so happy. We're going to extend your contract over and over and over. It's like, well, it's because it's not just kids watching your show, sir.
Charge in. I'm out of range.
I'm always out of range. Story of my life.
I need to get closer. Cast that yet. Not enough mana. That's recharging.
I was not close at all. Man, she is on watch.
Who, Belle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it, Dow?
No, she saw kids.
Hmm?
No, she saw kids.
Did you see kids? Huh? Did you tell him? Did you tell him? Such a good girl. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. 'Cause he's right here. It switched itself to top messages again. I don't know why. See that barking spider?
I think your asshole was calling to me.
Calling what?
Was calling to me.
Oh, my asshole was calling to you?
Uh-huh.
Does it want you to make it a salad?
No, I think I'm just hungry for shit.
With extra ag.
Ew.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna skip Fire Ward. Maybe. It'd be really good for Black Ring, Black Rock, anything. Black Wing, Black Rock, doesn't matter. You know, after this, I might see if this less has any new quests that I can do.
top 10.
In this video, we'll go over 20 true or false statements about things in WoW. There'll be 3 stages of difficulty.
No. It has to be about vanilla WoW.
I don't know if we've
In this
watched
video,
this
we'll
one
go
before.
over 10 equipable items which had weird or unique effects in vanilla WoW. And at number 10, we have the
Oh, my soundtrack's
This was a
done.
trinket which had the effect to remove 1 bleed effect.
Hell yeah, hold on a second. Hey, woman.
Yes.
My soundtrack finished downloading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this is the Gwent song, I think. Song intense. Look at that 666.
What?
I hit him for 666 without even critting. Alright, we'll switch
This
back
is
to the
really
video.
good.
Seeing as trinkets were kind of rare and hard to
It's
get,
only a 3-minute
you
CD.
didn't really lose much for having this equipped. And using it to get rid of a bleed from a warrior or rogue in
Yep.
PvP, or the odd raid or dungeon boss who applied a bleed, was pretty good. So it was a unique trinket with an effect that was pretty useful, despite the fact it gave no other stats. Then again, a lot of trinkets in vanilla didn't really have stats on them either, and would sometimes only provide a unique effect. The trinket was easy to get too. All you had
We
to do
got
was
this
complete one quest in the Searing Gorge, which required you to go around and kill 20 dinosaurs. And there originally was no limit on the bleed it would remove. So when the Burning Crusade came out, and one of the bosses in the new raid, Morose and Karazhan, used a hard-hitting bleed as one of its mechanics, tanks were using this vanilla WoW trinket in order to remove it. So they added a restriction to the trinket, where it would only remove a bleed effect applied from a target level 60 or below.
Wait, really?
Because outside of this trinket, there are no ways to remove bleeds outside of a dwarf's racial ability stone form.
Wow.
And straight up immunity spells, which remove everything.
Holy
Bleeds are one of the
shit.
few
Oh,
common
I was alt
boss
tab, but it
types,
would have
which
mattered
are
anyway.
removed by healers.
My guild was trash at the beginning of Burning Crusade, so I don't remember that happening. Like back then, like my guild was so fucking bad, we didn't even worry about Moros. We're like, man, maybe one day we'll be able to get fucking Moros down. But we never even got a chance for that, man.
Although in Legion, they did add a homage item in the game called the Feathered Loofah. It was an item that you could create with First Aid that had the effect to heal for a little bit and remove bleed effects, but only while you're on the Broken Isles.
So
And with the
AKA
removal
it's
of First
trash.
Aid in BFA, this item was just added to Tailors along with all other First Aid crafts. And at number 9, we have the 6 Demon Bag.
What
This
does
was
this
an
even
item
do?
with an on-use effect, which would have 1 of 6 random effects.
Okay.
3 of its effects were to shoot out a spell. 2 of its effects were CCs. Its last effect was to summon a Fell Hunter pet for you for a little bit.
Wait, what?
Of its 6 effects, its 3 spell effects were a lot more common than the other 3.
That's
So
fucking
every
awesome.
time you used it, it had a higher than normal chance to shoot a fireball,
Holy
a
shit.
frostbolt, which would slow the target for 5 seconds as well, or a chain lightning, which
Damn,
would chain you
dude.
to other targets. And then its other 3 more rarer effects was a cyclone-like ability, which
Okay.
was just a straight up stun, a polymorph, and then the Fell Hunter pet summon. Since trinkets were pretty rare, and you had a good chance for its effects to just do damage, and it only had a 3-minute cooldown, this item, despite having a weird effect, wasn't half bad as far as DPS trinkets go. Obviously, there were much better ones in the game, but if you had this one, it at least had some fun effects on it if it didn't do damage.
Dude, I didn't even know
Number
anything
8,
about that.
the Gnomish Mind Control Cap.
Oh, this was the
engineering item
Vertnoon
had the
fucking
effect
hat.
to possibly mind control an enemy
I remember
target,
this shit.
which would then allow you to control them like a warlock
Yep.
or hunter pet. But if you already had a pet out, you would have to dismiss your pet first in order to use this ability. But there was also a few catches to it. After patch 1.11, you could only use this item on targets out of combat. Also, you had to be an engineer with a high engineering skill in order to use the item.
That's whenever they took
But
out all the
despite
fun.
its name, though, you did not need to be a gnomish engineer. Any engineer could use this helmet. The helm had a 30-minute cooldown, so not something that could be used very often.
Oh, fuck.
And as probably the biggest caveat to this thing, it had a chance to fail, which was pretty common with a lot of engineering
I wonder what would
items.
happen
In
if
fact,
it fails.
That's still kind of the case today.
Do you become like
If this
their
thing failed, it had a chance to just not do anything, or mind control yourself and put you under the control of the mob you were attempting to mind control. And
That's
because
so-
engineering items had a
That's so badass, dude. That is so badass. And, I mean, really, it is so fucking cool that they had that back in the game then. I used to love that kind
That's
of
a lot
shit.
of
I don't know
bots.
what happened. Like,
And
I
they're just still
remember
there. The
some-
same
I
ones.
never watched
I just
it.
walked all that way.
Watched it, there'd be 8 different react
And it's
videos.
the same 2 bots that are
Let's
there.
Check if I've seen it before. I have not seen this video before. I don't know why people keep saying that. Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. It's not back in the day. We have it today. That is true. That is very true.
pretty high chance to fail in Vanilla WoW, this was not used as a reliable form of CC, and instead, just kind of a fun item with occasional niche uses. Number 7, the Horned Viking Helmet. This helmet had the on-use
fuck.
effect to charge
This
an
is for
enemy
Horde
and
only,
incapacitate them for
unfortunately.
30 seconds, but it would also knock you down and stun you for a bit. A 30-second CC is actually an incredibly useful effect, to the point
Yeah.
where a lot of warriors would farm the helmet in order to use it in PvP. And of course, had some niche PvE uses as well.
I remember, I think it was in like Kip's dueling tournament where you let warriors use this helmet for like an extra charge. I was like, yeah, right, dude. Like, I wish that warriors had, I think in vanilla, if they had 1 extra charge, or like if they had heroic leap in vanilla, I think that they would be better, right? And that, if I could give warriors 1 ability in vanilla WoW, it would be heroic leap. I think that's what would be the most fair thing. I don't know, react to any. Hi, Izzy. Hi. Yeah, I mean, they're good. No, just give them 1 heroic leap, and then that way they're not going to just get no, so completely broken. No. Just 1 extra leap. That's all. There's just 1 extra leap.
CC were heavily used in dungeons and raids. The helmet itself dropped from Eric the Swift in Oldemon, and is only available to Horde players, as the NPC is friendly to Alliance.
Yep.
And since it was located inside Oldemon, a not max level dungeon, warriors could solo this place to grab it, if they were smart about it, as the item dropped from one of 3 of the Lost Vikings. So if you attacked one of them, the other 2 were going to join in.
Yep.
Soloing lower level dungeons back in Vanilla WoW
It was harder.
was a lot harder than it is today.
Yeah, it's a
Even
joke
if you had
now.
about 20 levels on the place. And since the helmet had such a good effect, after Vanilla WoW, they gave the helmet a little restriction that it could only be used on targets level 60 and lower, basically. Number 6,
Yep.
Skull of Impending Doom.
Everybody
This was an
knows
offhand
about this
item
one.
That has the effect to increase your run speed
Everybody
by 60%
knows about this
for
one.
10 seconds, which was a pretty good effect back when not all classes had speed increasers.
Yep.
And the few that did had incredibly long cooldowns or restrictions placed on
This
them.
is the
And
Swifty
the
weapon
offhand
right here.
only had a 3-minute cooldown, but when used, it would deal damage to you and then drain mana over its duration. So the offhand worked very similar to modern day Burning Rush, a talent that Warlocks have, which increased their run speed, but
Paranoid,
deals
for
damage
good
to you
reason.
while it's active. If anything, Burning Rush was probably inspired by the Skull of Impending Doom. In order to get
I
this
never thought
offhand,
of that,
you had
actually.
to complete a 4-part quest
Yeah,
chain,
that's actually very
which had
true.
you go to a dungeon and around the world killing things. The quest would start in the Badlands from a dwarf, who would send you to Oldemon to grab a tablet, which, despite the quest text, didn't actually require you to go inside Oldemon, as the tablet was located right outside the entrance.
Shit.
Then you would go to another quest giver in either Ironforge or Undercity, depending on your faction, who would then send you to Dustwallow Marsh, Stranglethorn, and the Alteric Mountains to collect 3 items from 3 elite mobs.
Yep.
Then you'd be sent back to the dwarf in the Badlands and you'd receive your skull. Even with the drawbacks of the skull, it was still a pretty useful item just for the speed increase it gave
My
you,
mom still has
and
this
even
from
saw
Vanilla
some
WoW
niche
on her old
uses in
character.
PvP, on classes that can equip an offhand normally. For the Burning Crusade, the item received an update to drain 60% of your mana and health when you used it, instead of a fixed amount like it did in Vanilla WoW.
Yep.
This was most likely done so it couldn't be abused by the new health values that players had, keeping its drawback as an actual drawback to it. And then in the Cataclysm, you can no longer obtain this item. So if you have one, it still works like the TBC version to this day.
Yep.
And at number 5, we have the Freezing Band.
The Hobbs
This
way
was
of
a world
pulling,
drop
dude.
epic ring that had a 1% chance
Oh my
whenever you were
God,
hit
man.
to freeze the target for 5 seconds.
Oh
and
my
inflict a little bit
God.
of frost damage. It also gave some frost resist and increased the damage of your frost spells. Now, the unique thing about this item is
Those were the
absolutely
days.
that one-hit chance of freezing a target for 5 seconds, as this freeze was treated basically like a stun, and with its freeze limit block device for 5 seconds when activated.
Do you guys want to watch that after this, dude? Assuming this shit's still fucked, man. Yo, we should go watch the Hobbs video, man. Like, that was such a good fucking video.
Had no internal cooldown, and did stack with another freezing band. As this ring was not unique equipped, you could have 2 of them on at the same time to double the chances of getting freeze procs.
2%.
The only thing that might have prevented this from happening though,
Awesome.
was how you obtain this ring.
They were
It was a
expensive.
world drop epic item, which is about the hardest way to obtain an item in the game.
Yeah.
As you just
I'm gonna
have to
see if the
get lucky to obtain this from a random drop. So usually,
Paradox
the best way to obtain one
that I need
just
is
fucking
over
up
here or
the
not.
house for a crap ton of gold.
I am accepting
Even
gold,
then,
by the
there was
way,
no
guys.
guarantees
Let
that
you
there
know
would
that.
be one on the auction house. But if you were very rich and you played on a server with these being sold,
Yep.
you could obtain 2 of them and have fun with your enemies randomly being stunned whenever they hit you. And since the targets were treated as frozen, there was lots of synergy with frost mages and their shatter talent. And at number 4, we have the Thunder Brew Boot Flask. This was another trinket item which had 2 unusual effects tied
250
to it.
damage.
The first being, when you used it, you would breathe fire for 5 seconds.
Like
Which
Onyxia.
would give you a nice little AoE. And I've heard reports that this AoE could be used without a target and wouldn't aggro nearby guards if used on low-level players in towns. Its second effect is that it would get you drunk,
good, dude.
which could be a good or bad thing, depending on who you ask, and all on a
It's a bad
measly
thing.
30-minute cooldown.
It's a bad thing.
Vanilla WoW
Drinking
had
is bad.
incredibly long cooldowns on a lot of their items for almost no reason.
Yeah, there's like one random item. It's like a 45-minute cooldown to increase your strength by 6 for 5 minutes. A 45 minutes. It's like, who the fuck thought of that? Like, that was the dumbest thing, man.
That was kind of the name of the game back then. Everything had long cooldowns in other games, and if anything, WoW's cooldowns were pretty reasonable in comparison. You rarely see abilities or items with cooldowns this long today.
Yep.
When that was kind of the norm back then, as making abilities for some of the other items on the list. Now, the way to acquire this item required a lot of legwork. You had to complete a 5-part cross-continental journey in order to complete the quest chain, which awarded this trinket.
I'm not gonna
So
get
let's
this
go
item.
over it. First part of the quest chain required you to talk to a dwarf in
Yeah,
Westfall.
I'm not
that
gonna get this
required you to be
stupid ass
level
item.
40
There's
in
no way
order
I'm
to
gonna waste
accept
my
the
time with
quest.
this bullshit.
Westfall was a low-level zone, so
It's a
almost
bullshit ass
impossible
item.
you found this on your own while leveling normally, and also unlikely you found this quest when you're at max level, since the quest didn't appear for low-level players or max-level players. And the quest giver himself is kind of hidden in an out-of-the-way location. This is kind of a secretive quest to accept. Anyways, the first part of the quest required you to go to Stranglethorn Vale, in the middle of a Naga camp in order to get some holy...
Guys, it seems like we're able to load back in for at least probably 35 seconds before we disconnect again. So if you're part of the group, please load back in. Smitty, you've got one spot, and then we're still waiting on our last slot. Okay, make your way over to BRD. Or sorry, UBRS.
spring water. The second part of the quest chain requires you
Please.
to get 3 separate materials. One located in the Swamp of Sorrows, another located in Tanaris, and the last all the way in the hinterlands. Then you'd be asked to get 1 true silver bar, which you could just buy off the auction house. And after that, you'd be sent on another journey, this time to Feralis in order to get a branch. And then for the final part of the quest, you'd be sent to the Syrian Gorge in order to get a piece of oak.
Oh!
Then, after you return to Westfall, you'd finally get your trinket.
Wow.
There's some speculation that this was meant to be a quest for players newly obtaining their mounts, to give them a reason to run around the world with their newfound mounts.
That's actually
And that's
really
why it had them
smart.
go to like
Damn.
5 different parts of the world.
That's
a
really
speculation
smart.
that
What
was
the
most
fuck?
likely entirely correct, as in the WoW Diary book, a book in which one of the
Refill
WoW
or
vanilla
exchange.
developers talks about
That's a
Mhm.
non-step.
what went
Refill
into
or
making the
exchange.
game.
Yep.
They do talk
Refill.
about how they really wanted cross-continental quest for all classes at level 40, so they'd have a reason to use their new mounts. This quest is a good example of what they had planned.
See, that's so smart. Like that's so smart because like if you make a
There's nothing to see here.
All 40, if you just spend all your time in dungeons, you don't really find a reason to like. Do you need a mount if you live in Scarlet Monastery? No. So giving people reasons to go out there and actually see like, oh wow, I need my mount so I can do this faster. That's what it was all about, man. And it's actually really crazy to think like all the different ways that they figured this shit out. Like I'm so fucking glad about that. Like I mean like classic WoW, it's just literally those guys were fucking geniuses.
Okay, so I guess I can't quest over there.
Okay, let's go.
Because there's just bots everywhere.
And for every class, instead of just a few of
And
them
dinosaurs.
like this. Number 3, the Spectral Essence. This trinket has the effect to allow you to interact with ghosts inside of one town. This trinket was pretty standard for quest-like items and special effects, as trinkets in vanilla WoW were not very commonplace, and good trinkets were pretty rare. Your trinket spot was usually fine to equip something there without hindering your character all that much.
Okay.
In order to get the trinket, you had to complete a quest, which would send you into Skullomance to kill a rare elite.
Oh yeah, we
and
were gonna
burn
do
2
this.
bodies. Then you'd get this trinket, which would allow you to talk to the folks of Ciridaro, and even buy some unique items from a vendor, which could only be seen with this trinket or the Eye of Divinity, a trinket only priests could equip that dropped from a boss in multiple.
Thank you, beautiful.
The trinket didn't have any stats or do anything else. This is basically just the precursor to quest items, which did special things. Blizzard would usually just put them on trinkets that you had to equip. And at number 2, we have the Dark Moon card Twisty Nether. This was a Dark Moon trinket which had the effect, which would only have a chance to activate when you died. Basically, it gave you a 10% chance to resurrect after dying, with 20% health and mana. And when the trinket rezzed you, it worked kind of like having a soul stone on you, in which you could choose to accept a resurrection or not. Now, seeing as this trinket only had a 10% chance, it was not at all reliable, and not really worth the trinket slot in raids or dungeons. Its uses were basically just for solo content to occasionally
That's for my
save you a run
BIS.
back to your corpse. Or if you literally did
That's
have
my
any other
BIS,
trinket.
dude.
it at least had the potential to be sometimes useful in raids or dungeons.
Holy
Now,
shit.
this trinket didn't actually see very much use until arenas were added to the game in the Burning Crusade, in which people would equip this trinket in order to sometimes come back to life in an arena match, which could single-handedly help you win the game. Usually, after one
Fuck,
person
dude.
dies in arena, the team which secured the kill will basically treat it as if they've already won, and maybe let their guard down a little bit. So, seeing someone res back up real quick to join the fight is all it could really take in order to turn the tide of the battle back in your favor.
Yeah, I guess so.
And as far as I know, this trinket still works in arenas today. Maybe. I tried looking it up and couldn't really find any confirmation, but I also didn't find anything saying that it didn't. And it
Imagine somebody using that in like BlizzCon or something. God, dude, that'd be so funny. And like, especially like that the player, the casters wouldn't understand it. They think it was a bug. Oh my God, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Number 1, we have the Hook of the Master Angler. This is a trinket that had that on-use effect to turn you into a fish and allow underwater breathing and an increased swim speed. Kind of like the artifact fishing pole effect, which turns you into a fish and allows you to swim faster. Except instead of having to equip something in your weapon slot,
Okay.
this one
Fuck.
only required you to equip its trinket slot.
Yeah.
Unusual for a trinket like this trinket actually didn't have a cooldown.
How I get this?
Usually, all fun abilities had incredibly long cooldowns.
How I become a fish?
This one, you could just turn into a fish whenever you wanted. Well, outside of those 30 seconds after equipping the trinket anyway. The trinket is a reward from the Stranglethorn Fishing Extravaganza event and winning the grand prize.
Fuck that.
So not many people could get it, considering
Fuck
the
that,
event is
dude.
only held once a week. And
Fuck that,
basically,
dude.
only one person per
Fuck
server
that shit,
can
dude.
win per week.
Literally
You can
never
still win
gonna
this
do that
trinket
trash.
today, but you do have to get first place in the fishing tournament.
No way.
Which is pretty difficult. Unless you're on a server that literally has no one else trying
There's
the
no
tournament
fucking
that
way I'm
week,
gonna do that trash.
which is doubtful, since the tournament also has a prize for an heirloom ring item,
Heirloom.
which is an incredibly useful
I actually
item
don't have
as
this
it
one.
gives you an extra 5% experience. And since the item is so useful, that means lots of people are still doing this tournament today in order to try to get one. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to win it. The first time I ever tried doing the tournament, I won 2nd place. Not good enough to get this trinket.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Like, you go over, like, on Retail WoW, there's gonna be, like, probably one other guy that's, like, fishing there, and maybe he's trying to go for it or not. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore. It's kind of sad, dude. Like, these little fishing events used to be, like, a really big deal back. Even up to, like, Wrath, they were a big deal.
But it was good enough to get the heirloom ring, which is what I actually wanted anyway. Alright, and that's it for the video. If you know of any other weird vanilla items that I missed, I'd love to hear about them, as well as ideas for future videos just like this one down.
Okay, next song. Where's my Paradaxis? Or Pterodaxis? There's one. I'm just gonna run up on him. Fuck him. Ooh, look at that lucky crit, though.
I can't cast that yet.
I'm gonna go for 2 Pyroblasts. Oh, look at that. Worked out perfectly. Alright, you're resisting way too much, sir. I need you to calm down. Fuck. These things hit like trucks. That frenzied Pterodax is like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And I said, stop resisting, stop resisting. And he's like, no, I can't breathe. Probably too much smoke from the fire plume ridge there. Anyway, I'm gonna keep alternating between songs and videos.
He says words that get me in trouble on Twitch. I'm not watching it. Stop.
Game files at one point or another, but were never made available to players for whatever reason. First up, we've got Frostmourne.
The fuck is that? It's a 4-second attack speed? Holy shit. And it has Intellect Wielder or Frostmourne will become the new Lich King. Hail to the king, baby. Okay.
Frostmourne was actually in the game files since WoW's launch, but was never shown in-game until Wrath of the Lich King's expansion in 2008.
Wow.
And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
That's the best part right here.
With the official lore behind the weapon being that it was destroyed by Tyrion, it's very unlikely to ever be obtainable by players, especially since Frost Death Knights take the remains of the broken sword to make their artifact weapons. The sword in the game files is the only weapon in game with a meta socket on it. For those of you who probably don't remember, meta sockets were only ever in helms
People
and
don't
could only
remember
be
even what
socketed
meta
with
sockets
special
are.
meta gems,
That's
which
sad.
are stronger than normal gems.
Wow.
But they don't appear on any new pieces of gear anymore since Warlords of Draenor. The weapon also gives you a Lich King buff, presumably changing your armor to that of the Lich King's.
Wait, what the
Or
fuck?
maybe it would actually turn you into the Lich King, making you hostile every your friends.
That would be cool
Maybe
as
you'd
fuck.
even delete your character once you die, since the weapon in lore does consume your soul. That's probably why it was never made available to players. And totally not because it's
Wow.
the most iconic weapon in the game, wielded by one of the most popular villains ever.
No, that's not why.
The next weapon, called Shard of the Defiler,
little
is
loud.
a legendary dagger.
Well,
It
wow.
supposedly has the ability to turn your character model into a demon, and gives
What
a
the
passive
fuck?
15% melee attack speed boost and crit chance. When it was very
do you know
first
that?
data mined in vanilla WoW, it also did some of its melee damage as shadow damage, which would have been interesting because, as far as I know,
Didn't have
there
that.
has never been a melee weapon in game that has done magical damage. There was once a quest
guess
item
not.
dagger in the beta version of the Burning Crusade that did arcane damage instead of physical damage.
What the fuck?
And mages in beta were able to get it to insane levels of damage,
That's actually
making
really
battle
good.
mages a real and overpowered
That'd
thing.
be best in slot.
But that
vanilla.
never made it to live, and neither did this dagger.
Oh,
Some speculation in the
how
chat
convenient.
said it was part of the original Hyjal from vanilla WoW, not the battle for Mount Hyjal added in DC.
Oh wow.
For those of you who don't know, the zone of Hyjal was blocked off all the way until Cataclysm, when it was turned into a leveling zone. Plans for some kind of breakdown, since
cool if they
while
did
the
this.
zone was not accessible to players, effort was put into the zone, but it was
Wait, the guy's
never
name is
used for
Maga?
anything. And this dagger might have been
Okay.
reward from the scrap zone, seeing as its name can be traced back
And this
to
is old
Arkham.
Hydro.
Okay, I remember why I turned the game down now.
Next up, we've got Thunder Fury, Windseeker deprecated. Now, Thunder Fury Windseeker is a legendary variant of the game, but this time, Thunder Fury Blessbladed deprecated has the same stats as the regular Thunder Fury Blessbladed the Windseeker, just without the chance on hit
So
effect
fast.
or any model data. But what's interesting about Thunder Fury Blessbladed the Windseeker deprecated is that it has always required you to be level 100 to equip it. Way back, years ago, before Warlords of Draenor was even a thought in the developers' minds, and the max level was still 60. Most of the weapons in this video will either not have a weapon requirement or have one appropriate to the time the
That's a
weapon
little
was
bit
added
weird.
to the game. Thunder Fury Blessbladed the Windseeker
What
deprecated
the fuck?
is probably the first weapon ever put into the game files that had the level requirement of 100. The next weapon on this video is actually a fishing pole. Crafty's pole is the only legendary fishing pole in the game files. It only requires a level 1 in fishing to use and gives you 1,000 skill increase in fishing.
I
The
need
pole
that.
was most likely used to test fishing, and probably still is to some extent today. The fishing pole has a flavor text that says, "Just holding this fishing pole makes you shiver with excitement. This is possibly the most amazing thing you've ever seen."
I bet it's not.
Most items not made available to players don't have any kind of flavor text.
I
In
think that's
fact,
kinda
a
funny.
lot of items in game don't have flavor text either. There's also an offhand in the game that you can catch by fishing in Orgrimmar called Old Crafty,
I spent a month
which
farming
this
for
pole
this.
is probably a reference to,
I hated my life
with
afterwards.
the flavor text said to be the craftiest fish in Orgrimmar. It appears he was outsmarted at last. Funny enough, there was a bug for a while that wouldn't allow players to actually loot Old Crafty when he was caught, making it a very elusive to catch fish.
Oh, he's
indeed.
very crafty.
Really living
do you
up to its
expect?
flavor text. Data mined in vanilla, the original Twin Blades of Azeroth followed lore a lot more closely than that to the Warglaives that did make it into the game and dropped from Illidan. The Twin Blades were a weapon that had an on-use effect, which would split the weapon into two separate
What
weapons,
the fuck?
called the Warglaive of Azeroth right and left.
Damn.
Its equip effect was pretty similar to the effects of the Warglaives in game.
It's a pretty fucking
Extra
cool.
melee haste and bonus damage when fighting demons. These never added Warglaives also had the same model as the Warglaives the Demon Hunter on the box art for Vanilla WoW is using,
How convenient.
maybe indicating that they were going to be added sometime in Vanilla WoW, but were scrapped and replaced with two separate legendary weapons with better graphics that dropped from Illidan later on in the Burning Crusade and Black Temple.
It's probably a good
The
idea.
Fudge Hammer is a legendary weapon that appeared in early alpha builds for
Fudge
Warlords of
Hammer?
Draenor. Its flavor text reads,
What the
"Legendary weapon of Warlord Blackhand. Legendary status derived from its name, not its power." The hammer is obviously just a joke item,
Fucking
either put in
GMs.
the game to mess with data miners or for testing. But I'm not sure what kind of testing could
Imagine
be
if he
done
actually
with the
dropped a
Fudge Hammer.
legendary hammer.
It's not like it has amazing stats or anything.
WoD
and
would've
its
been a
only
lot
effect
better.
is to get +2 attack power, which is a pretty insignificant amount of attack power.
Most legendaries are better than that.
So I'm pretty sure it's just a joke. Blizzard likes to put some stuff in the game files sometimes just to mess with the game. Next up, we've got the Troll Guitar.
What the
This
fuck?
weapon is a unique model guitar used by the troll in the band that plays the
Oh.
effect of the weapon is to make your character appear to
He's
play
using
the
it
guitar.
wrong.
There are two
the other
other
way
guitar
around.
weapons in the game which were available to players at the time.
I've heard of this
I'm
before.
probably gonna get off after I complete both these quests.
But for some reason, the troll guitar was never made available for whatever reason.
Wow.
So now, if you want your character in game to look like he's playing a guitar, you better get lucky and grab either the Blood Elf guitar, or the Arcanite Ripper off the Black Market Auction House, or just play an undead. During the Argent Crusade daily quests, you had to equip a
that's
lance
actually
and
really
mount
weird.
one of the many racial mounts available to you,
Okay.
and then go off into amazing mounted combat that 90% of the WoW community hated.
I
But
liked
did you
it. I
know
thought it was
Blizzard
great.
had intended to include specific
Except if I
racial
lost,
lances
then it
as
was
well?
broken.
The idea was scrapped pretty early though, as Blizzard only finished 5 of them before stopping that shit and just making faction-specific lances instead. The ones they did manage to make were the Draenei, Gnome, Dwarf, Human, and Troll lances.
Blizzard gave up.
Once again confirming
Wow.
Blizzard's alliance bias, as they were clearly working working on the Alliance lances before Horde. Next up, we've got another joke weapon used for testing called Teagle's Trash Bringer. This weapon was added in the Wrath of Lich King Alpha and given to Death Knights with their talents.
Here we go.
Teagle was the username of WoW's raid designer at the time, and the weapon had the flavor text,
That's
trash
Jeff.
getting you down.
That's
In
Jeff,
addition, it
dude.
used the weapon model of the Ashbringer
Oh,
itself.
Papa Jeff.
The
That's
weapon
right.
did terrible damage though, and only vendored for 1 copper. Funny enough, its item quality was upgraded to artifact quality with Legion, which probably had something to do with the Ashbringer finally being added to the game for
Wouldn't it
real.
make sense that the trash
I should
bringer
probably
would be
mention here
below
as well that the Ashbringer was itself a weapon that was in the game since Vanilla WoW but never added, and had all kinds of rumors and speculations on how to get it.
Yep.
That Blizzard reference with its hidden skin requirements. I'd normally go into more detail about this item, but I've already covered it in extensive detail in another video of mine, and it's a super
That was the
well-known
best
weapon
quest
that's
line, man.
famous for never being added. And I'd like to put more obscure stuff in these kinds of videos. So now then, on to the last item on this list. Martin's Broken Staff, originally called Martin Thunder, was a GM item that had no weapon type, so it could be equipped by all classes, gave 100 resistances to 4 different
Yo, this
elements,
Martin guy's beating
and had an
people's ass.
on-use effect to instantly
The
kill
chest piece
enemies
is the
within
same
30
thing.
yards. It was once one of the few artifact quality weapons in the game files,
I remember this. I remember
which
seeing this.
was a thing always in the game since launch, but never made available to players until Legion. The weapon was changed in patch 3.3 to Martin's Broken Staff, a poor quality weapon with
I
most
wonder
of the same
why.
stats, but with its effect
Jeez.
now reading, the caster commits suicide, instantly killing themselves. This change to the item was made a short time after the whole Martin Fury fiasco. Martin Fury was a shirt item with the effect to instantly kill everything within 30 yards, just
That
like Martin
shirt
Thunder.
sucks.
Only
Damn.
it had a limited amount of charges. A player was given this shirt by mistake from a GM.
Yeah,
and then the guy who
we saw this
received
part
the shirt
yesterday.
gave it to one of his guild members, who then used it 14 times to one-shot raid bosses, giving them record kill
How did
times
it know
and
for-
even a few world first achievements. When Blizzard found out,
Not a
they
big
banned
deal.
everyone who was in the guy's guild for 24 hours, and then banned the player who used the shirt permanently.
Imagine just being a
They
social
then
in a
changed the
guild
shirt to
getting
a poor
banned.
quality item, and then changed its effect to instead kill the player instantly,
I wonder if
rather
they
than
fired that
everything
GM.
around them. This change was most likely made just in case it was given to another player by mistake, and the change was brought over to the GM item Martin Thunder, which was then renamed to
surprise.
Martin's Broken Staff. And that's it for the video. There are a lot of other items and weapons never added to the game that I might cover in a future video.
I guess, like, so what's so funny about that is that I remember going back and looking on WoW Wiki. I don't know if you guys ever went on that website before, but back on WoW Wiki, I would always look at these kinds of items and I would just think about them. Watch the Preach Jaina video. Watch Vertnoon 5, please. Watch the Thunder Fury video. People said they didn't want to watch it, so we're not going to watch it now.
Oh, I passed right by one. Damn it. That was a good crit. Alright, last one. Well, not the last one, but the last one I need for that particular quest. This song's serious. I must be about to get a drop. I don't even recognize this song from the game. Once I'm done with these quests, I'm ready for bed. Or dinner. Dinner.
So that's my
And then bed, yes. I like how he screamed in agony and I ran away.
Me on a daily basis.
I'm gonna skip this song. I don't really care for the Blood and Wine songs, honestly. He would go out of range. Just barely. And now I'm gonna end up aggro. Oh no, he turned around. This is probably one of my top 2 favorite songs in the game, actually. This one, and there's one that plays... I want to say it's in White Orchard. Or it's in the bigger area, I don't remember which. There's one. Oh, there's a bot. He sees me. Oh, that's actually better than what... Or no, it's not. Nope. I'm actually gonna go ahead and go along the bridge here. See if I find any. Because that's usually where they hang out. They hang out along the ridge over here, so maybe the story's the same. Yep. Awesome. There's a bunch of them over here. And probably no bots. Get so out of the way. Oh, come on now. Boom. The drop rate on this is so bad. Alright, that's enough music. Time to get serious. Time to get that last scale. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. Nope. Of course not. I'm actually gonna start heading around towards the west. So I'm gonna see about getting a flight path that's at whatchamacallit. Nope. And there's an alliance. Which means I'm gonna have to run by all this shit. I'm dead. There's a lot of alliance over there. Uh-huh. 434 guild members? What? Damn. Damn. Like this video just keeps getting louder.
Today's test drive is this 1979 Lincoln. This thing is pretty cool with a 400 under the hood. Pretty quiet. Huge car here. We'll be going over all the flaws, chips, scratches, rust, if there is any. We'll be checking the interior out, test driving this car down the road, pointing out the flaws so you know what you're getting before you get here. There's detailed pictures at maplemotors.com. We have financing and shipping available on all of our vehicles, and every Monday I put out new rides. For now, it's about that time. Let's go for a ride. Got a huge door. Place your bets. Do you think the horn works? Must be a factory steering wheel. The dash is awesome. It's like a watch. Let's start it up. This buzzing's annoying. It doesn't make the buzzing go away. Hold on. Shut the door. There it is. Show you the mileage. We've got gas. That's good.
Lady who has
Radio works. Wipers. Oh yeah, they work too. Wait. There we go. Blower motor. So blower motor is cutting on this one. The original clock. It's not doing anything, sadly. Turn signals. Left side's popping up there. Right side. I can hear it, but the bulb's not working over there. Nope. Okay, interior. Oh, you got a sunroof, a giant one too.
Hmm.
There's the cover for it. Does it work? Wow.
Oh shit. I'm not ready. I'm pretty sure these guys dropped the scale. I don't know why they're not.
It works and it's fast. Well, this is kind of awesome. Coming on close with it. Good deal. Horn? What? They must have it unhooked. Let's hit the road and we'll see what else we can find. Okay, our seatbelt's a little bit twisted here. Let's go ahead and hit the road. When it comes up pretty good there.
At least I'm getting halfway decent XP, maybe? I don't know. I'm pretty sure this isn't the way out. Yeah, it's up here. Alright, I'm gonna look this up, because if they don't drop the scale, there's no point in me killing these guys. Okay, it does drop. It's actually, it drops at a higher rate from the easier ones according to Wowhead, but I doubt it. I doubt that. It's probably all the same across the board. You still doing laundry or no? Oh. Almost got me. Oh, there's another one.
Going for reverse here. Already feels like a boat. A little hot in here now. I don't know about y'all, it's 70 degrees here in Tennessee all of a sudden. Feel a little touch of spring coming in.
I need to get closer. I don't have a target.
There we go. Now I just need to go get the flight path for the place.
Okay, anything I see, you'll know about it. This is the first time I've driven this ride personally. Speedometer is coming up on the dash there. Very smooth as soon as we pull out on the road. And we're straight. Nice and straight. And your brakes, they don't feel bad at all. Brakes are smooth. And the throttle. Kick down, hooked up. Good power there. Back in your brakes. Everything's nice and smooth as far as going down the road here. Tight steering. Pretty comfortable ride. May even have to open the sunroof up. I kind of like it. It's a giant sunroof. You could easily fit 2 people inside that standing up. Coming up into the gas station right now. We'll get some fuel. And then of course after this we'll get some outside shots. Let's do it. See y'all later. It's a good suction cup. You're still stuck to the window. The window's working really well. Okay, $20 worth of premium fuel. Locking gas cap on this one. And our gas gauge. I believe it works. It was on a quarter tank. Let's see. Should get up above half here. Yeah, it is working.
Sorry, interested in that particular car. I'm looking to get a new car. Even if that new car is a 1979 Lincoln. Watching a baby moose playing a sprinkler.
Oh goodness.
See?
He loves that so much. That was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Both farted at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's called bonding.
Well, spit it out. Glad I could help. Yeah, what do you want? Be careful out there.
Well, I'm not doing that one yet. Oh, the other one's over here. Okay.
Time is money, friend.
Are those better than what I have? By far.
Hurry back.
Oh, there it is. Duh. Um, I am gonna go ahead and get off for the night. I'm gonna go ahead and try the bot thing again tomorrow. Just because I am interested in maybe, playtesting it out a little bit, because I was told nobody else is really doing that, and that would be a really good opportunity to see every little thing that the bots have trouble with, especially hunter bots. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna remake them.
Do the dev a favor.
It's not really it didn't really get very far anyway. And I'm just gonna help him get out of the area where there's neutrals. I will initiate attacks for him. I'll switch to melee for him. I'm not gonna use abilities for him. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. But yeah.
Look forward to that.
We'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this VOD doesn't get banned because of playing Witcher music, and if it does, I don't care.